I finished the shawl. You can see some here. And look at this pocket. It's at, if you can, I'm going to make a better video where you can see the whole shawl, but this is the end, the short end. You can see it's kind of in the middle of the side, so it's in the top part, which means when it hangs over your shoulder, this is the top. When it hangs over your shoulders, this is where my hands wanted to go. So that's why I put it not directly in the middle of the shawl. And I want to show you how I'm going to do it. That one is on. Here's the next one. I made this little mesh. It's 15 windows by 12. And then the top, I just did single crochet, 2 single crochet in each of these windows. My tail is just long enough, so I would recommend you leave a longer tail. This tail happens to be about 34 inches, and it does work, but it is close. So leave a little bit more than 34 inches. And I could tell you that in centimeters for some of my friends. Looks like 34 inches is about 86 centimeters, so more than that. Pick more than that. Now this is going to be the top of the pocket where I put my fingers in, this little extra nice border edge, I suppose. I didn't bother putting a border on the rest of it. And you will want to tuck this tail in before you sew it on. It's normally I don't bother with this tail. I just, when I do my border, I go over it. But I realized when I did the first pocket that it doesn't get stuck because of the simple way I'm sewing it together. So it does need to be sewn in. I just go through a little bit and make sure you go at least 2 directions. 3 is safer, but it's just a knot on the end of it that's probably not going to come apart anyways, so not something I'm too concerned about. Other people seem to have bad luck with knots. If you're on any of the crochet groups where they talk about sewing in ends, it's like some people, they do everything and it still comes apart. So that's not fun. So this is the top of the shawl up here. Obviously we're looking at the wrong side. This is my nice pretty moon. This is the short end. On my little pocket, this is the top that I have that single crochet on. So I want to put my top of the pocket up here, okay? And this I measured was about 4 inches from the edge. I did the single crochet border to here. And this is about 1 inch. You can change that up however you like, of course. That's just how I'm doing mine. And I line up my little windows, okay? So you can see over here, I have the border edge, then I have one window, and then it's sewn together. So that's what I want to do here. Here's my border edge, one window. That means this is the line I want it to match. And this corner here is where I want it to match here. I'm going across. So I'm just going to make sure that my windows are lined up so that when I sew it, I can get all of those windows lined up. All right, this window is going to get 2 stitches into it, the corner. And then this windows are going to line up with the blue windows, which sometimes you can't see right now because there's these black in it, but try to look at your other lines to see if you're in the right place, you know what I mean? Okay, so this is where I'm going to start sewing. And my top corner is going to be sewn in. I'm just going into the first layer. I don't want this to be shown on this side. All right, so we do have a little wiggle room because it's the dual mesh. The top corner here and on this side do a little bit more extra because that'll have the most stress on it when you're putting your hands in your pockets and you're really relaxing into it. It's going to have the most weight on those stitches, so you want to make sure they're good. And then I just literally go through the window. You can do into the black or the blue or both. Because I want this corner to be stuck in the right place, I'm just going to actually go up one more time. The other side was a bit easier because it didn't have as much black. It didn't have any black really. So now I'm going in this window, and going in this window, and I'm just going around. And that's it. It's not super sewing. It's not really sewing, right? It's just a little, I think a little whipple stitch or something like that. I could look that up for you, but that's what I always thought it was called. I think I learned that on Grey's Anatomy. That there's actually different names for different types of sewing. I had no idea. Which makes sense. It just never occurred to me before. And that's it. I just go through. I want it relatively tight because I don't have much yarn. I go into this window so that my yarn is going in this window, and this is the other top bar that it's going to be around. So I go under the bar, make sure it's not showing this side, and in. That's it. Go all the way down your line. Oh, actually, I think that's the wrong. Yep, I already messed that one up. That is not the right window. It is more confusing when you got these black ones here. I'm gonna have to take that apart. So this is the line. Yep. Right. So you're gonna make sure that you're still following that line that you had mapped out before. It's already gone through that window. I just wanted to find the right place here. And I don't want to go I don't want it to be seen on that side, right? So make sure you're being careful. And go all the way down each little window. Go through there. And it's just a pocket. So really, it shouldn't be too daunting. If you feel like this is scary, no one is going to come across and be like, oh, that's a beautiful shawl. Oh, that pocket. Oh, take it off. That's disgusting, right? Come on. They're just going to think, ooh, handy shawl with a pocket. Love it. So as long as your pocket's relatively straight and it's attached and your things aren't falling off, you'll be just fine. Don't worry about it, okay? And it is not my favorite part. I really don't like sewing with the needle. But I was pleased when I put that first pocket on and I gave it a try. It's like, oh yeah, this is definitely what it was missing when I was first finished the shawl. And I was like, this is nice. But it just, there was something not right because it didn't really want to stay on my shoulders the way I wanted it to. And I was a little bit disappointed. But this is going to make all the difference. And it's okay if you go under the black, as long as it's not showing on this side. What you don't want to do is have your yarn go over one of these black, right? You don't want it to show. You don't want it to be a pretend stitch or anything. When you get to your corner window, make sure that you go both directions, okay? So we're going to go that bar, make sure it's nice and tight, but we're going to go in the corner window again and go on this bar to make sure that that corner is stuck. And then we can keep going, next window, all the way. When you get to the end, tie a knot, weave in your ends, and you are good to go. All right, that is the end of that tutorial for me. I'm going to keep sewing here. I don't think you really need to watch me go through these stitches. It's not, you're not getting any new information. So I hope that helps. And if it doesn't, send me a message and I will do what I can for you.